everyone, this video is to show you how I refill my Vue Cups. I have my standard Keurig Vue machine in front of me. To the right I have Vue Cups that have been purchased, and you can see the two pierced holes where it's actually a used cup. Over to the left I have ones that I have packaged and refilled myself. I've labeled them F for Folgers and M for Maxwell House. Just some generic coffee that I could use to practice doing this until I get my routine down, and then I'll get some a little bit better coffee and grind my own beans. But I'm still using just generic type coffees at the moment. There's my Folgers, and over here I have my supply list. I got Reynolds wrap, some painter's tape that's about 1 inch wide. I have my filters, some scissors, string. It's just some generic, like a synthetic string at Walmart that I got in the back in the sporting goods section. Again, the two cups, where you can see one new one and one refillable that I've used, and here's just some empty containers where I've got the new ones and emptied out the used filter. What I'm going to do is see if I can set down the cell phone and go through the procedure. First is to get the old one and take out the filter. There's a tab in the back, and I found out that if you put your thumb right there below the tab and you pull on that aluminum foil and put some pressure with your thumb, as you pull that tab, you can get both sides to start evenly. You can just pull that whole unit out nice and clean. And what we have here is the standard package. It's just a aluminum foil type top with a built-in filter on the bottom, and this I throw in the trash can. I no longer need that, and that gives us our empty cup. What I do from there is I will be sure this is, if it's recently used like this one, it's got a little moisture in it, be sure and dry that out. You want a dry plastic cup to work with when you put your filter in. So what I typically do is I will mold my filter around the cup to give me a nice unit to work with. I press it around all the edges, and I want the bottom of the filter flat. And then after I get it pressed into place, then get my coffee. And what I have is what's called a standard coffee cup. It equals about 2 tablespoons. So if you just want to do 2 tablespoons, that's fine. That works out to about the same. And then be careful and not spill any grinds. And what I do at that point is I bundle it up into a nice little bag. Nice little rounded bag. I twist the very top of the filter, and then after I get that twisted, I then cut me off a section of string about 4 inches long, give or take. When I tie my my filter at the top, just put a couple of generic knots in it. So I end up with a package like this, and that's just I put the string on there to keep the grinds from coming out during the brewing process. Next, I put my package of coffee in the empty cup with the string side down, and I press my new filter in there nice and neat. When you're working with the filter, be careful to not puncture the filter. It's very easy to puncture that. And then after I get it in the cup and I have it nice and level, make sure there's no filter over this lip right here, that's where the coffee will actually come out later on when it's brewing, so we want it nice and round. Alright, next step, aluminum foil. I just tear off a strip about 3 inches by 3 inches, give or take. Lay it over the filter, place it upside down, and then I set and I crimp, or stand and crimp, the top of the aluminum foil around the top of the plastic container. And just lightly crimp at the moment, just so that I have a nice crimple on the top and I don't puncture my aluminum foil. At this point, I get the scissors about halfway between the top of the cup and the bottom. I will trim up all the excess. Whoops. Again, working with aluminum foil, you have to be very careful not to dent or damage the aluminum foil. And after I get that cut off, I then crimp it and mold it a lot tighter. I want my, and I actually have this perfected pretty good. I push with my finger against the edge so it's nice and rounded, and then I use my thumb to crimp. So between the finger pushing on the edge so that's tight and the thumb crimping the lip underneath the bottom, I get a nice tight edge. And then I go around and crimp the rest of the aluminum foil around the package. So now we have a nicely crimped top, about halfway along the edge. And then at this point, what I do is I use my painter's tape to go around about 6 inches or so of painter's tape. Does not have to be exact by any means. And I just loop it around the foil and the actual package, and then I crimp that also in place. And really that painter's tape is for two reasons, well, three reasons. One is to make a nice seal for the edge of the aluminum foil, so there's no places for that to catch and tear. Second reason is that provides me a tight seal between my aluminum foil and my case, so that will keep my coffee fresher longer. And then the third reason I use the painter's tape is it's easy to work with, and it'll peel off easier whenever I take it off after I'm through with the unit. At this point, I am done. I'll mark it with an M so I'll know that it's a Maxwell house, and I have a perfectly good refilled container to use. And how that goes in the machine is just like the standard cup. You open it up, place it in place. With the aluminum foil, I noticed that I do have to seat it a little tighter. Press a little harder than your regular cup since there's a little excess foil. But it will fit right in there, and then when you close the unit, you're ready to brew. Typically do brew with a strong setting. Usually around 12 ounces is what I do. These cups should be good up to 10, 12 ounces. I've even done 16s with them before. And that is all there is to it. And like I said, they're kind of snug. So you have to use a little bit more effort to take them out due to the extra foil and tape, but no harm to the machine. And whenever they brew, they will indent the two places, one at the top for where the water is forced into the filter, and one at the bottom for the coffee to come out. And refilling, you just throw all of the excess away and refill it. It's fairly straightforward. I hope you enjoyed the video and take some pointers off of my things to do and not do. Aluminum foil, I've tried different ones. None seems to be better than any other. I've tried glue. That does not work since it taints the flavor of your coffee with glue. So best to stick with just some generic tape. I tried different kinds of tapes. Duct tape seemed to stick in the machine too tightly. This painter's tape seems to really work well, and it's a nice 1-inch width too, so I don't have to cut a width, I just cut a length off. Hope you enjoyed the video, and enjoy your refillable machine with whatever coffee of choice you choose.